Good morning, guys. All right, we are on part 5 today. Why validation matters more than we think. All right, so let's dive right in. Validation is often misunderstood. Some people hear the word and assume it means agreeing with everything someone says, approving every feeling, confirming every conclusion. But validation is not the same as agreement. Validation is the act of recognizing that another person's experience is real to them. It says,
I may not fully understand everything you're carrying, but I believe that you're carrying something.
that matters more than we often realize. Because when a person is hurting, struggling, grieving, overwhelmed, or trying to make sense of something difficult, the nervous system is not only looking for solutions, it is looking for safety. It is looking for signals that say,
You are heard. You are not crazy.
You are not too much. You do not have to defend your pain in order for it to count.
validation can provide those signals. Not because it fixes the problem, not because it removes grief or illness or uncertainty, but because it changes the environment in which pain is being carried. It turns suffering from something a person must carry alone into something that is at least witnessed. And being witnessed matters. The brain is constantly taking in information about relationships, tone of voice, facial expression, posture, interruptions, silence. Whether someone leans in with curiosity or pulls away in discomfort. Whether a person is met with gentleness or skepticism. All of these things communicate something to the nervous system. When someone responds with patience, presence, and belief, the body often registers that before words are fully processed. The nervous system begins to receive a different message.
Maybe I do not have to brace myself here. Maybe I do not have to explain every detail in order to be taken seriously. Maybe I do not have to prove that this hurts.
That does not mean everything suddenly feels better, but it can lower the temperature of the moment. It can soften defensiveness. It can reduce shame. It can make honesty feel safer. For a person who has spent a long time feeling dismissed, doubted, interrupted, or minimized, validation can be profoundly regulating. Not because it is dramatic, but because it is rare. There is a difference between hearing someone's words and making room for their reality. Validation makes room. It says,
I am willing to sit with what is true for you, even if I can't fix it.
and sometimes that willingness matters more than advice, more than explanations, more than reassurance offered too quickly. Because people do not always need someone to solve their pain. Sometimes they need someone to stop arguing with the fact that it exists. And that is one of the quickest ways to become an unsafe person to someone whose brain is already overwhelmed. To constantly minimize what they are carrying and then ask them why they no longer feel safe opening up. Validation does not require perfect wording. It does not require having the right answer. Often, it simply requires humility, a willingness to listen, a willingness to pause before correcting, a willingness to let another person be the expert on what their own experience feels like. And when that happens, something important shifts. The nervous system is no longer working as hard to defend itself from the person in front of it. It has a little more room to breathe, a little more room to settle, a little more room to heal. Validation may not cure pain, but it can change the way pain is carried. And sometimes that matters more than we think. Guys, remember the human. What we cannot see is often carrying the greatest weight. This is just a nurse writing from a patient's chair. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.